Now then, I'm Emma, I'm back again. If you watched my last video, which I'm sure you never, I saved all my empties last year and I've decided that I'm going to make a little video diary to myself of all the products that I used. I'm partly using it to keep myself on track because I'm doing a no-buy 2022. I've got to use up all the stuff that I've got. I noticed in my last video I was going like that, like as if I've got some tick, but what I'm saying is up there in that room above me where all the stash is sitting waiting to be used. So I'm going to do them in order-ish of products that I use on my face. I did cleansers last time. Now I'm moving on to vitamin C. So in the morning I cleanse my face and then I go straight in with a vitamin C. My skin, it's normal to dry probably. I don't really suffer with breakouts. I don't have sensitive skin. I've got skin like a hardy rhino. You can splash whatever acid on there you like and rarely does it do anything untoward to me. I'm not particularly concerned, I'm 45 now, I'm not particularly concerned with fine lines and wrinkles, those signs of aging. What I use my products for to try and attain is I want to have less textured skin. I want to treat the pigmentation, the sun damage that I have on my face, and I want a kind of, I suppose, a smoother, more unified canvas, and I want plump, bright skin. So don't mind wrinkles, you know, living with them, so it's a luxury to get old, not a terrible thing, and I'm quite happy to deal with them. I don't, you know, I've not had any Botox or anything like that. I do use resurfacing products. I'm definitely more concerned with the texture of my skin. I think if it looks smoother, you know, makeup isn't as aging then because it's sitting nicer on your skin. I am particularly upset with all the sun damage I've got. I am religious with SPF these days and have been since I was in my mid-30s. Mid-30s now, I'd say like what would I say? Late 20s, early 30s, religious. But it was already too late by then. The damage had been done. I spent a lot of time abroad when I was younger. I lived in Greece in the sun for a year. I don't think I wore sunscreen ever. Then, you know, I'm a child of the 80s. I've got no recollection of my mum, you know, covering me in sun cream on the beach at Scarborough when I was 5. You know, might have happened, but I don't recall it. It's a relatively modern thing. Certainly, if you're a poor northerner, wasn't in our bag when we was growing up. So I only really started to use it, like I said, late 20s, early 30s, and now I wear a factor 50 every day. But it's too late. The damage was done. So my skin loves certain products. I can tell when I've used them what works for me and what doesn't. And the probably number one thing that works for me better than anything else to give me what I'm looking for in skincare, which is bright, you know, smooth, less pigmentation, is vitamin C. So I've tried loads of vitamin C's over the years. You know, most of them I found not great at all. It was only when I finally found the one that'll be at the top of my list that I really truly saw a big difference from it. I've got actually only 3 types of vitamin C to show you because I've got a definite favourite. I have some supply of my favourite, but when I run out of it, the vitamin C that I'm going to buy to try is the Medicate one from reading the reviews. Now, over the years, I've tried lots of different ones. I'm a sucker for what they tell me on the internet is good. I watch all these channels. I'm more, because I'm old, I mentioned this before, I'm still stuck in YouTube. I do go on Instagram, but, you know, really, I get my info from YouTube. I watch probably the same people over and over, but I do branch out now and again. I read a few beauty blogs and things like that, magazines, the same as everybody else does. But I'm definitely influenced. I'm often influenced with people. And the first vitamin C I'm going to show you, I was influenced by countless people on the internet, mainly slightly older women like myself, who told me that they'd had great results with this product, and that is the timeless vitamin C. I've actually got 2 here, one looking a lot mankier than the other one. So this is, now is it Korean skincare? I'm not sure. I don't want to say it's Korean if it's not. It is definitely from one of the countries in Asia, and it is very similar to many of those things that you'll find in Asian skincare lines. It is timeless skincare vitamin C. It says on the front 20% vitamin C, ferulic acid, vitamin E. I'm sure you've all seen it. If you watch the internet, everybody's seen it. I've gone fancy for this, got a ring light, but it's too bright. Now, why didn't I like it? Because I really did not like it at all. Multiple reasons why. The first, so I got it from Yes Style, which is part of the problem, I think. So I believe when it was having its heyday, you could buy Timeless from somewhere in the UK, or from some UK distributor, which probably helped matters. But by the time I came around to buying it, there was no UK distributor. It was out of stock everywhere, and the only place I could find it was on, well, I could find it on various far away places, but Yes Style usually is my go-to if I'm going to buy that type of skincare. Now, I ordered it. It took not that long to come, maybe about 2 weeks to come, and I ordered 2 because I was so excited to try it. Everybody's saying it's fantastic. It gives noticeable brightening, particularly, which is what I'm interested in, and helped with pigmentation and dark spots. So I thought, great, I'll order 2. The first one, this one here, was actually okay. It was clear-ish fluid, but mostly clear. I used this one up, and then I opened the second one. This isn't fully empty because by the time I got about halfway down using this product, it had completely oxidized. Could be that it, been in stock a long time at Yes Style. Could it be the shipping? Could it be that I bought 2 and I shouldn't have bought 2, should have used 1, bought another one? We all know that vitamin C has a limited lifespan to be effective. So, but the first full bottle and half of this bottle were fine, weren't oxidized. It is that type of vitamin C. If you've used many, you'll know that's really watery. It's actually like a liquid. It's the type which, in my opinion, stains your nails, stains your fingers, makes you look a bit, like you've got a sort of 1980s rolly smoking habit with the yellow fingertips. I found all of those really watery vitamin C's do that. And this is exactly that type of formula. My biggest issue with it is it stinks. It smells of cloves to me. Many people may not find that offensive. They might think, oh, cloves, nice, give me a hot toddy, it makes me think of winter and whiskey. Oh, no, bark, absolute bark. So my number one problem with it is the smell, and it does not go away, it doesn't dissipate. Like a lot of skincare with fragrance on, you put it on your face, and then, a couple of minutes later, once it's absorbed or whatever, smell's gone, can't smell it. No, all day. Well, the first few times I used it, I was driving to work and I was like, what's that smell? What's in my car? I thought something gone off in my car. It was like, ugh. But no, eventually I realised it was that. So it's got a really clovey smell. A lot of the vitamin C's I've tried in the past have got that sort of fake orange citrusy smell, which I quite like. It's quite nice. But it's obviously been added, it's synthetic. Maybe this clove smell is part of the ingredients, I don't know, but I cannot stand it. It's horrible. Also, bigger problem, didn't work for me at all. The reviews of it were fantastic, and I mean, I must have watched 20 different beauty, skincare influencers, gurus, just people chatting on the internet, tell me how amazing Timeless was. And honestly, I think I first saw it in various places, but the person who actually influeed me to buy it the most was Angie from Hot and Flashy, because she raved about it so much. And I like a lot of the products that she uses. I find it quite relatable and, you know, honest and genuine. So I'm sure it worked for her. I'm not suggesting it didn't. But it did nothing for me, absolute nothing. I noticed no difference in brightness, certainly no difference in pigmentation. If anything, I got that, you know, sometimes, again, I think it's those really watery vitamin C's can almost bring out your pigmentation, almost like, you know, like when you fake tanned, and sometimes your fake tan just makes your pigmentation look a little bit worse. That is what I found with this. I was so disappointed. It's not expensive. From your style, I can't remember exactly. I'm going to say I paid maybe about 20 quid for each one, so it's not expensive, but still an absolute waste of money for me. Did absolutely nothing. And then, like I said, it oxidised to the point where, you know, you don't want to be putting that bright orange fluid on your face, do you? So although massively loved by many people, Timeless is a huge dud for me. Won't be buying that again. So my next vitamin C that I used and used up is Paula's Choice one. So this is the, oh, will it focus? Too bright, there we go. It's the Paula's Choice C15 Super Booster. It's a 15% vitamin C with vitamin E and ferulic acid. So similar, this is vitamin E and ferulic acid, but this is a 20%, the Timeless 20% vitamin C. This is 15%. This, texture-wise, another one of those really runny, watery vitamin C formulas. This is a booster, so I believe you can apply it directly to the skin, or you can mix it in with your moisturiser and get your vitamin C boost from that. Did it smell? Don't recall it smelling, or not, don't recall it smelling unpleasant anyway. It's a dropper formulation. The Timeless is another thing that's annoying about it. It's a squeeze, a pump. So you pump it, and because it's so watery, loads of waste, stinks of clothes everywhere. So not, to me, terrible method of distribution as well. This is a dropper. I didn't use it mixed in my moisturiser. I used it directly onto my skin. I've got very hardish skin. I can take quite a strong product without getting any irritation or adverse reaction. It's another one of those weird thin vitamin C's that slightly does the your fingertips orangey, yellow, fag coloured. But it's good. It is good. I definitely noticed, I would say, a little bit of difference in my pigmentation, but definitely brighter skin. I want that sort of like glow, and this one did that. It relatively expensive. I'm going to say it is about 35 quid, 40 quid. I bought this direct from the Paula's Choice website, I believe. I think I bought it on offer. Maybe it was like buy two things, get something, and I bought the Paula's Choice BHA toner when I bought this, which is good. I've used a number of Paula's Choice products and I quite like them all, but it wasn't powerful enough, shall we say. I wouldn't repurchase it. There's nothing bad with it. What it reminded me of actually is you used to be able to get, I don't think they make it anymore, but you used to be able to get an Indeed fluid vitamin C booster, very similar to that, and it's also actually quite like the Hylamide Glow, is it called Glow Booster? Very similar in texture, in smell. You know, I don't know, maybe people know better than me. It's got some of the same ingredients as fake tan or something, because it's got that fake tan slight sort of biscuity smell. But it is a good product. I think it, although it's a strong vitamin C content, 15%, I didn't get anything from this. No tingling, no irritation, nothing. So if you're wanting to maybe step up what you use, this could be a good buy, because you could try it out first of all, just putting a few drops in your moisturiser, and then if you're not feeling any irritation, skin gets used to it, apply it direct to the skin. it, for a little bottle as well, lasted quite a long time. I was quite impressed with how long it lasted. So nothing wrong with it. It's all right. It's a good vitamin C. It's way better than that Timeless bollocks. But it is not the vitamin C of choice for me, which I'm just about to show you. So I have a love affair with this this vitamin C that I love. I don't even know how I came across it in the first place. Maybe somebody told me about it, maybe I read about it somewhere, I don't know. So it's a vitamin C powder. Now I've used 2 previous vitamin C powders before I got this one. The first one I ever used, don't know if they still make it, maybe they do, I'm not sure, was a philosophy one. Power C or something like that it was called. It's a tiny little bottle like this, came with a tiny weeny little scoop, and I first used it years ago. I was quite a bit younger, I was probably in my late 20s, early 30s. Didn't read the instructions, didn't know what I was doing with it. I bought it in America, on a trip to America, so I thought, well, that sounds good, and burnt my face off with it. Absolutely burnt my face off. My problem, not theirs. I just didn't think about what I was doing. I remember I was there, I lived in my flat at the time, I was laid in the bath having a lovely relax, and I thought, oh, I'll make myself a little sort of face mask with this powder that I bought in America. Laid in the bath with it on for about 20 minutes, like bright red beacon face afterwards. So I must have gone on to find some instructions, look it up, look what to do with it, and I used that for a few years much more sparingly than that, and it smelled really nice. I'm a fan of all citrusy smelling things, and then I stopped using it, moved on to something else, you know, forgot about it. And then probably maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, I was buying some stuff from The Ordinary, and maybe it's not even that long ago, might be 3 years ago, not sure. Buying some things from The Ordinary, and I saw that The Ordinary did a vitamin C powder, which I believe the proper word is ascorbic acid, is it? L-ascorbic acid or something like that. So I was like, oh, exciting. That'll be like that philosophy one that I've had before. So I bought some of the Ordinary one. It's absolutely brilliant, great value for money. I haven't, it will feature in next year's Empties, but I still use it now. But my problem with The Ordinary is it isn't very finely milled, or I don't think it's milled quite right, or it's mixed with something that isn't quite right. It is very difficult to get that Ordinary one to completely dissolve into whatever carrier you're using to get it on your face, and then therefore you end up with tiny little patches of it, and it's strong, so if you end up with a patch of it somewhere, it can tingle a bit, sting a bit. Again, I'm fine, I'm not sensitive, but if you had sensitive skin, I would not recommend that one. How I use it, I do still use it, but how I use it is I have occasionally in the morning, not every day, maybe once a week, once a fortnight, if I've got a little bit of extra time, I mix a little bit of that Ordinary vitamin C powder into the dreaded Serum Hydrating cleanser, mix it into like quite a thick paste, and then I put it on like a mask. Just leave it for a couple of minutes and wash it off. There are schools of thought out there that vitamin C doesn't need to sit on your skin for very long, that you can put it on, leave it on, and it will penetrate enough to do the job it's meant to do. I'm not a believer of that, but it is said that that's a thing, so I'll try it anyway. So I pop it on in a little mask and rinse it off. Don't get it in your eyes though, stings if you do. But I have tried to use that as my vitamin C in the morning mixed with a carrier, and it's just not viable. It's not good enough for that purpose. What is good enough, however, is my dream product, which is the Dr Sebagh Pure Vitamin C Powder Cream. Now, if you've ever seen them, they come in little test tubes like this, little tubes, and they're a powder, which you can't see because they're empty. They're empty. They have little, can you see, markings on the tube, like 1, 2, 3, to show you how much you should shake out per day. I have just what I've saved over the year. It isn't all of them because you forget and you just chuck them in the bin, but I've got all of these many tubes of it. So you're meant to get, or I think you get, they say you get 7 applications in a tube. You can buy it in packs of 5 tubes. So I don't think you need quite as much as they say. I probably get, so say there's 7 applications in a tube like this, I probably get 10 out of it. So one of these tubes will probably last me 10 days. I don't do it quite to the max, I just shake it into my hand about what I think. So I must have seen this somewhere, thought, oh, that looks like the ordinary, but better. I mean, it is better, but it's also way pricier than the ordinary. So for a box of 5 of these, they come in a box and are like all set out nicely. I can't even get hold of them, but 5 of these. I buy mine usually from Liberty, or you can buy it, I've bought it from Face the Future, I think, in the past as well. It's not a widely stocked brand. I don't know what, I think they're the only places I've ever bought it, actually, Liberty and Face the Future. I must have seen it somewhere, thought, oh, I'm going to get that. 5, it's expensive. It's 85 quid for the 5 of them, but like I said, that will last me at least 50 days. Let's say I scrape it out and it's 60, so it lasts like 2 months. But it's so good. It's so good. I will continue to buy it over and over. You never hear people talk about Dr Sebagh on the internet. I don't know if it's a brand that's, you know, maybe because it is pricey, or it doesn't look that fancy. It's very, it looks sort of very medicinal when it comes. The packaging is just usually very basic white packaging with black writing on it. So maybe it just doesn't hit the, you know, don't look good on the gram or whatever. But I've tried quite a few Dr Sebagh products and I love them all. All of them are fantastic, but they are all expensive. So like I say, I nearly always buy it from Liberty, which is my favourite beauty shop to shop in. Now, I've got a juxtaposition because 5 of these little babies are 85 quid. It's a powder and you mix, you can apply the powder direct to your skin. I'm not really sure how that works, don't know how you would do that. I mix it in with something. Now, if I'm feeling bougie, I've got 2 empties of the Dr Sebagh, I hope I'm saying that right, Sebagh, never heard anybody say it. Serum Repair, Hyaluronic Acid. This is a skin hydrating and repairing serum, 20ml, again, pricey. They're about 45 quid, something like that, and it's hyaluronic acid. I can't say in all good faith go out and buy it because there are other similar products on the market. However, this one has a really weird, good weird, not bad weird, tightening effect on your skin when you apply it. So for people who've used hyaluronic acid, you will know it does that sort of, you know, tightening almost sets on your skin. This one really does that, like really feels like it's getting sucked in. You need to put something else on top of it, but as soon as you put something sort of occlusive on top of it, you're like moisture central. It's fabulous, but you don't need to pay that for this type of product. So when I'm feeling, excuse me, flashy, I will mix it with this. I've got 2 of these empties here, but the juxtaposition between cash and no cash is what I mix it with nearly all the time is this, which is a tiny little tube. It's about similar size to my test tube, and it is the Simple Hydrating Booster from the Water Boost range. It is, I believe, a glycerin based serum. It is very thin, very watery. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these in front of me. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I've got 14 of those test tubes, but that ain't them all. That you forget to save and empty with that. You just chuck it in the bin because they're so tiny. I don't know. What would I say? I'd say maybe you need one of these to every 2 tubes of the vitamin C. This is really cheap. It is again nearly always on offer, although it's getting harder and harder to come by this. I do, as I mentioned in my other video, almost all of my standard beauty shopping at Boots. Not stuff that I can't get at Boots, obviously, because I save my points and I get bargains for my points. I'm not an often Superdrug shopper, nothing against Superdrug, but there isn't one handy to me either, whereas Boots is handier, and also the fact that Boots do free next day delivery to store, and there's a Boots store right by where I work, it is what kind of gets me there. However, on occasion in the last year, I have been driven to shop in Superdrug because this is not available. I can't find it. Don't have it in Boots, don't have it anywhere. Only place that seems to have it is Superdrug, and it is fantastic. I think full price it's about £7, but it is never for sale at £7. It is always half price, or it's always buy one get one free, whoever is selling it. So you never pay £7 for it. Average pay £3.50. It is so hydrating. It's such a good just like it, you can feel you got lovely bouncy skin when you put it on, and the best thing about it is this utterly dissolves into it. It becomes almost sort of like a creamy paste, and then I basically just put it all over my face and just down my neck. This is fantastic for brightening, absolutely fantastic. As soon as you put it on, you can see your face is just glowing straight away. It doesn't irritate me. The like I said, I mentioned the Philosophy one and the Ordinary one. I think they could be quite irritating to people if you're sensitive. I don't think this one would be, although it is strong. It's a pure powder cream. You put it directly on your skin. I've never experienced any irritation with this at all. It has a very, very faint licorice smell, I would say, when you put it on. Bit of a faint licorice smell, but it disappears almost straight away. It is, in my opinion, the best vitamin C product I've ever tried, and like I say, I've tried a lot. I've got a little supply of this in my stash for my by 2022, but it isn't going to last forever, and I am going to have to buy vitamin C. I haven't got any others. I'm done with, like, I've tried loads of others, I'm done with them, but I'm going to try something new. So at the moment, I don't know if I've mentioned at the beginning, I'm thinking I'm going to get the Medicate one, but if anybody's got any tips, tricks, wants to tell me which vitamin C they're at, then I will try it. But if you can beat this, I'll be amazed. I think it's fantastic, but it is pricey. It really, really is pricey. I don't spend a lot of money on all elements of my skincare, but one of the things, so the things I know my skin really loves is vitamin C, peptides and ceramides. And vitamin C probably for a glow factor more than anything, so I'm quite happy to spend the money on that. But it does add up, you know, if you think one of these, so it's £85 for 5, so what's that? 15 quid, is that 5 times 15? God, I can't add up. 15 quid for that, and then 3 quid for that, so that's like 20 quid for 10 days worth of product on your skin. Pricey, but if it works, I'm up for it. Anyway, that's vitamin C. Woohoo! What's coming next? I'll probably do normal serums. Oh no, what I'll do is toners. I don't use a toner or a separate hyaluronic acid or any other hydrating toner in the morning. I literally want this on my skin, so I don't want a barrier. I don't want there to be something else between this and the vitamin C. So I go wash with water, straight in with vitamin C, use an eye cream, which I'll come to, and then straight on with my sunscreen. Again, there's a school of thought that vitamin C works very well with the components of SPF, and you know, they're a good combination. So I don't use anything else in the morning, just vitamin C and SPF, unless I'm you know, that's if I'm leaving the house. If I'm staying in, I might put a few other things on. I do the majority of my other skincare in an evening. Anyway, thanks a lot. See you again.